Okay, I got to go live. And we are live. Oh, I need the screen up that says the show starts soon. There. Oh, and music, right? Don't we normally
Yeah.
have music at the beginning? Okay, so I have that too. Yeah, so you might have information that the economy is going to crash. You might have inside information. Do you have a 401k?
I do.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's down a lot.
Why weren't you listening to me and why didn't you sell all your stocks?
Well, I don't take financial advice from people without jobs.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, clearly it was a mistake. It's just my personal rule. So,
Mhm.
oops.
Yeah. Do you think people are feeling bad about their 401ks and they're going to vote Republican?
I don't know how many people with 401ks think in those terms, you know? I think a lot of people with 401ks are like, well, we'll just write it out, you guys. It'll get better. The long term prospects are good.
Yeah, right. Over time, you can't beat it. Over time, investing in stocks is a good strategy.
I hope.
I mean, historically, you get good returns. But right now, I don't know. I'm putting it all in cryptocurrency. You have some Ethereum. So is most of your cryptocurrency from what I gave you?
All of my Ethereum is from what you gave me,
Yes.
but I do have several other bets out there in crypto.
Oh, okay. Do you want to
Shit,
reveal any of them?
shit coins. I don't even know what they are. Honestly, I stopped checking my wallet because it was so depressing.
Yeah, shit coins are not where to go. You want to get some Ethereum. We're going to talk about Kyrie Irving. Sorry, everybody. I had the banner up, but we're going to talk about Kyrie Irving. There's breaking news about him. Totally breaking news, actually. I could have updated the headline. So, and the title on this stream is different depending on where you're watching it, because I didn't want the title to seem too anti Semitic, considering that people are very sensitive about that.
And you were banned for that last week.
And I was banned for that, for talking about Kanye West. So I won't even say. If you want to know what the real title is, you can subscribe to my Substack, where you'll see the real title in the podcast and the Rockfin episode. But for YouTube, we are sanitized. So you have to apologize. You have to apologize. That is, if you shared anything Kanye West said, or if you're a Black Hebrew Israelite. Do you know much about these Black Hebrew Israelites?
Just a little bit, just enough.
What do you know about them?
Well, they think that they're the real chosen people and that the Jews are usurpers of the chosen people claim.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So that's it. That's like a fairly common belief now. Or I was looking. Well, it seems like Kanye West was just talking about it. Kyrie Irving just shared something about it.
I think, yeah, the longer Black people have had the internet, the more open we've become to these kind of like alternative histories. So I wouldn't say that maybe 20 years ago it would be looked at crazily, but now it's kind of like, well, you know, everything's a lie. So who knows? Maybe we are. Fuck
Yeah.
it.
Right. Right. And what's wrong with that? What's wrong with having that belief?
That's a good question. Probably a lot. Nothing that comes to my mind immediately.
No, but something seriously is. I mean, Ben Shapiro says so,
Well,
and other people of that persuasion.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, yeah. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about it. I don't know if I might get into it. We might have to go and do part of the show on Rockfin, because I would talk about it. I would talk about it like seriously,
Hmm.
but I can't do that. I mean, because if you want to talk about it seriously, and then you want to talk about Judaism, like if you wanted to compare Judaism versus Black Hebrew Israelitism, I could point out some things where both religions have some deficiencies, you know? So I think it's interesting for these Jewish people to call out this other religion, considering, that's all. But I don't want to say that don't want to say too much, because they will say,
Yeah, save that spiciness for a different platform.
Yeah, so maybe we can talk about it on whatever. All right, and it's almost the election, so we'll catch up on what's going on with the election. I can tell you what I think I have my final bets in on the races, so I can share with people what those are. Oh, and have you gotten yourself? Did you get a Powerball ticket yet?
No, it's on my list. I forgot.
I got one.
Really? Is there like a deadline?
I think it's Saturday. I asked Siri when the Powerball drawings are, and she said Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, I think.
Okay. I'll do it before then.
There wasn't a line or anything. I was halfway expecting, because I went and got my hair cut today. And she was like, oh, somebody's going to be a billionaire. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she said the Powerball, and she got, and then I thought, oh, well, I think while I was thinking about it, I was trying to, it's a scam, like lottery is a scam, and it's state sponsored gambling, and a lot of people who buy scratcher tickets or lottery tickets have a problem. Like, they shouldn't be doing that. Right. And so it's not a good thing, but I figured I heard the jackpot is 1.5 billion.
1.5. Oh, wow.
That's what I heard. But after taxes and everything, you probably take home 300 million or something, I suppose.
Well, there's like 8 states where there are no taxes on lottery winnings like that. So if you're in one of those,
I doubt I'm definitely.
Yeah, you're not. You might be. I don't know. Someone watching might be.
Should I play my intro, even though you're on the show? We don't have anybody. This is a call out for anybody who's the creative type who makes intros. We need an intro for starring me and Jelena. So, but it has to be good.
Yeah, play the intro. Everyone loves the intro.
Okay, so let me make sure. I think I have my volumes ready. Okay. Thanks for joining us for this show on all the platforms. My internet is back. So, they took out my internet and they decided that I could talk again. So here we are. Okay, cue musical intro. Boy, that's brilliant. I do think some things in the world are real. Like you guys. You guys are real. Most of you. Most of my listeners, I think, are not just in my head. I think I have the metrics to prove it. You've taken a leap of faith today. What is that sound? And I apologize if you take offense. I'm a little offended myself. Welcome to our show. Welcome to the future. What it is, joining you live from sunny California. It's a beautiful day today. I'm your host, Nathan Stoltman. I bring you the news, the real news. I noticed Jaron put together that intro. I noticed that in the intro is Gabby Giffords. You see that? Because it's maybe one of the most offensive conspiracy theories I've ever heard, which is that Gabby Giffords is faking it. Have you ever heard that one?
I have. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Because she's married to Mark Kelly, isn't she?
Yeah.
Not in Arizona. Yeah.
Exactly. The fake astronaut. Right. So you already got one person in the family who's faking something, right? Because they don't go to space or whatever. And then you got Gabby Giffords, who got shot, right?
In the head,
right? And then came and and talked at the Democratic National. Wow, it's super offensive. Yeah, you can't say stuff like that. But I bet against him. That's one of the reasons I bet against Mark Kelly.
Yeah.
and Arizona. So yeah, that's one of my bets. I'll go over. Yeah, we'll talk about the final calls for the election. Anything else you want to cover that I didn't talk about? So Kyrie Irving and big news. We want to make sure we talk about all the ins and outs of that. So we have the election, we have the economy, we have what you would spend your lottery winnings on.
Ooh, I need to think about that. Okay.
Yeah. All right. And then you'll have to pick shit coins too. I'm wearing a crypto future. This is a cool shirt.
It is pretty dope.
I have a bunch of crypto shirts. Like if people want to get crypto shirts and you don't want to pay whatever it says on the website, and you want them in bulk or something, let me know, because I have some crypto shirts from when we transitioned to a cryptocurrency channel for about a week and got some t-shirts and then didn't talk about crypto much after that. And so we still have some t-shirts. So if people want to check those out, check them out at truthclothing.io. And if you want to support the show, go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. And I'll read the coffees. People did drop coffees yesterday, which I wasn't able to read. So I'll read those today. Buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. It's better than super chats because they don't take as much money and they're cool so far. So, okay, Kyrie Irving. Let's talk about that story. The breaking news about Kyrie Irving is he's been suspended. So I want to go back to the beginning. Wow. He's been suspended now for what he said. I have him in his press conference when this all started. Like he shared Kyrie Irving as a basketball player for the Brooklyn Nets. He is a conspiracy theorist and previously said that the earth might be flat. He also didn't get vaccinated, and that was a big story. Then maybe that's what he's most well known for. But before he didn't get vaccinated, he did say the earth might be flat. And he's a pretty good basketball player, from what I understand. I don't watch basketball too much, but from what I understand, he's decent. But some people say he's like a little mental. But you want to hear what he... I can show what he said at this press conference. So he shared an Alex Jones documentary. One of the things he shared was an Alex Jones documentary. And then one of the things he shared was a Black Hebrew Israelite documentary. And I guess what he's most in trouble for is the Black Hebrew Israelite documentary. So let me play, okay, get my sound right. Let me play him discussing part of it with a reporter here. This is a
Kyrie, while we're on the topic of promotion, why did you decide to promote something that Alex Jones said?
That was a few weeks ago. I do not stand with Alex Jones' position, narrative, court case that he had with Sandy Hook, or any of the kids that felt like they had to relive trauma, or parents that had to relive trauma, or to be dismissive to all the lives that were lost during that tragic event. My post was a post from Alex Jones that he did in the early 90s or late 90s about secret societies in America of occults, and it's true. So I wasn't identifying with anything of being a campaignist for Alex Jones or anything. I was just there to post. And it's funny, and it's actually hilarious, because out of all the things I posted that day, that was the one post that everyone chose to see. It just goes back to the way our world is and works. I'm not here to complain about it. I just exist.
And to follow up on the promotion of the movie and the book.
Can you please stop calling it a promotion? What am I promoting?
Put it out on your platform.
But I'm promoting it? Do you see me in front of the title?
By putting it out there, people are going to say that you are promoting.
Yeah, put it out there, just like you put things out there, right?
Yeah, but it's not.
You put things out there for a living, right?
Right, but my stuff is not.
So let's move on.
Filled with anti-Semitic stuff.
Let's move on. Don't dehumanize me up here.
I'm not doing that.
You're free to post. I can post whatever I want. So say that and shut it down and move on to the next question.
But Kyrie, you have to understand that I
don't have to understand anything from you.
It's not me.
Nothing.
By
it's no people that you're making up, bro. Move on.
But by posting
move on. Next question.
Anybody
Do
is
you
going
guys
to
have
look
any more
at it
questions for
and they're
me?
going to say,
You guys have any more
does he have
questions? Because this is going to be a
anti-Semitic
clip.
beliefs?
This is going to be a clip that he's going to marvel at. Is this any more questions?
But you're not answering the question.
Oh, this is another answering your question. Oh my God, let's make another Instagram clip so we could be famous again. Next question.
Kyrie, basketball related.
So there you go. That was him. So mostly in that press conference, they asked him about the Alex Jones documentary, which was about the New World Order, which is frequently called an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory, even when it doesn't identify Jewish people as the culprits. But yes.
I love Kyrie. Do you know what documentary it was from Alex?
New World Order is what I'll show you an article.
I didn't know he had one called New World Order.
Apparently it was from, okay, I'll show you. Here is the New York Times. It says Kyrie Irving defends anti-Semitic documentary and conspiracy theory. And he said he's not going to stand down. It says he shared an anti-Semitic documentary and a, quote, New World Order, unquote, conspiracy theory about secret societies.
So they're not even naming the actual film.
The conspiracy theory pushed by InfoWars host Alex Jones falsely suggests that people in the government are working to enslave the human population by, among other methods, releasing viruses. And so he said, as he defended himself for posting a link on Twitter. So the documentary is in trouble for, as far as I can tell. So the Alex Jones thing, first of all, was problematic because it suggested there were secret societies, which he says there are. And then he posted another documentary called Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America, which it says in this article espouses several anti-Semitic tropes. So you said you know a little bit about the Black Hebrew Israelites. What are the tropes exactly that are espoused about Jews in Black Hebrew Israelitism?
This question feels like a setup.
Yeah.
What are the tropes espoused about the Jews?
What do they say?
Well, I mean, the general premise of the Black Hebrew Israelites is that the people who call themselves Jews are not Jews, that the Black Hebrew Israelites are the real chosen people. And most of what we've been taught about how history has flowed has been a lie. So we need to revise that.
Interesting. I mean, so it sounds just like any kind of, new way of thinking or whatever. It's alternative history, basically. Revisionist history, pretty much, right? Which is very popular if it's about the right things. Like it's okay to have revisionist history about the United States and say it was founded based on slavery, and you can publish that in the New York Times. But if you have revisionist history about other things, like, well, especially things having to do with Jewish people, that's definitely problematic.
That's a way to put it. Yes. Yeah.
So where we're at. So Kyrie was in trouble, and then this got him in more trouble. So check this out and see if you can figure out why this clip is the reason he got suspended, which is breaking news. He just got suspended. Here, listen to this video. And this apparently was where he really crossed the line.
Do you have any anti-Semitic beliefs?
Again, I'm going to repeat.
He asked him, do you have any anti-Semitic beliefs? You can barely hear it. So he asked him, do you have any anti-Semitic beliefs? Okay.
Do you have any anti-Semitic beliefs?
Again, I'm going to repeat. I don't know how the label becomes justified because you guys ask me the same questions over and over again. But this is not going to turn into a spin around cycle of questions upon questions. I told you guys how I felt. I respect all walks of life and embrace all walks of life. That's where I sit.
I think what people want to hear, though, is just a yes or no on that question. Yes or no.
I cannot be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from.
Last one, Alex.
I cannot be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from.
Fire. Straight fire. Wow.
So that's what he said. And that was criticized. So I'll show you this tweet that I showed you. You're careful. You're gonna cross the line. If you can't say that. You can't say what you just said. I don't think.
I can't call something fire.
No,
That doesn't even mean anything.
Not in this case.
It's straight fire.
I'll tell you, you'll be contacted very soon. Jonathan Greenblatt will be coming to talk to you very soon about why you can't say that Kyrie Irving says anything that's fire. So I told you that was what got him canceled, right? Jonathan Greenblatt tweeted out the answer to the question, do you have any anti-Semitic beliefs, is always no, without equivocation. We took Kyrie Irving at his word when he said he took responsibility, but today he did not make good on that promise. Kyrie clearly has a lot of work to do.
Wow.
Said Jonathan Greenblatt at the ADL. And then here, okay.
But I mean, Kyrie is correct that anti-Semitic doesn't mean what they want us to think that it means. People have used anti-Semitic to say that it's something that goes against the Jews. Like, that's all that it means. But like, Semitic people is a wide range of people. And maybe some would argue that the Jews don't fall under that category. I'm just saying we've been lied to about so much in our history that I think an open discourse about the potential realities isn't bad. It's not bad. And people who have like a solid ironclad view of this is what happened and you can't question it, because if you do, then you're X, Y, and Z. Like that's the red flag.
Yes. Yeah, you're saying it. So I had this post up. I have another clip with Charles Barkley. So it turns out in a twist of fate that the commissioner to the NBA is a Jewish man. I believe, at least his name's Silver. And so he has written a statement. Let's see what I have. He put out a statement, Adam Silver. I'll show you that. Saying, I am disappointed. I am disappointed that Kyrie Irving has not offered an unqualified apology and more specifically denounced the vile and harmful content contained in the film he chose to publicize. Adam Silver says. He also said this. He issued this statement, the NBA commissioner. Quote, Kyrie Irving made a reckless decision to post a link to a film containing deeply offensive anti-Semitic material. While we appreciate the fact that he agreed to work with the Brooklyn Nets and the Anti-Defamation League to combat anti-Semitism and other forms of discrimination, I am disappointed that he has not offered an unqualified apology and more specifically denounced the vile and harmful content contained in the film he chose to publicize. I will be meeting with Kyrie in person in the next week to discuss this situation. So,
this is where they're going to lose it with these like unqualified apologies, unequivocal apologies. This kind of demanding isn't going to fly. It may have been flying for the past few generations, but like that's not happening anymore.
Man, it's like, I don't know, you just think it's like he's the commissioner of the NBA, so he's got all the power in this situation. And then it's just a revisionist history thing. Like I said, I would get into it because if you want to start criticizing people over their religion, which is now what it is, basically. I mean, being a Black Hebrew Israelite is kind of like a religion, and all religions, all of them contain crazy conspiracy theories. all of them. That's like a feature of religion, is that it involves crazy conspiracy theories, like that you're the chosen people or whatever.
Or things that require faith.
Yes, right.
Right.
So then he's saying this particular religion that all these black people have. And the reason that it's popular, the reason I think it's popular is like, it's a population that's historically oppressed and historically hasn't done that well compared to Jewish people, for example, like haven't done that well and want to think that they actually are the chosen people. So like it's a message where you think, this makes sense. Oh, we really are chosen, right? It makes you feel better.
But again, the historical context of, Black people not doing well is also extremely limited. Like, yeah, we have what's referential between like the people that we know, our grandparents and whatever. But like most of history, I don't know many people who really believe it word for word anymore, because it's not something that can be believed word for word. It's all subjective and it's all written from a very specific point of view. So, why should someone apologize for asking questions? I haven't seen the documentary, I should say that, but
yeah, I haven't seen it. But like I said, I could get into like what like Judaism says about certain other types of people. And it's just like not always that friendly to other groups of people. So it's, anyway, here's Charles Barkley talking about it. I haven't reviewed this clip, but it was posted by Anomaly. So it might have something to do with Adam Silver. Hold on. Let's play this.
NBA dropped the ball.
In what way?
I think he should have been suspended. I think Adam should have suspended him. First of all, Adam's Jewish. You can't take my $40 million and insult my religion. If you're going to insult me, you have the right, but I have the right to say, no, you're not going to take my $40 million and insult my religion. I think the NBA, they made a mistake. We have suspended people and fined people who have made homophobic slurs. And that was the right thing to do. I think if you insult the Black community, you should be suspended or fined heavily, depending. I saw they did the same thing to the kid in Minnesota this year when he made the gay slur. I think you should get suspended or fined. I think him acknowledging the Alex Jones thing should have happened with that too, because that dude's crazy. And I can't believe that we ain't talking about that. We're talking about this idiot. And when you say, if I say, hey, I'm agreeing with this movie, this book or whatever, I'm agreeing with it. I'm not going to first of all, I don't do any social media, but when you're somebody as great as basketball like him, people going to listen to you, what you say. And there's some fringe people out there, but like I say, I blame the NBA. He should have been suspended.
And their conversations are continuing with the Brooklyn Nets,
it's too late
the NBA,
now.
But they're also looking at how do we move forward at this so we don't go through this again. No, it's not too late to say how do we prevent this. It's not too late to do that. But I see what you're saying.
I want to say the reason it's too late. The NBA is giving in to peer pressure. If one of our players do something, they have the right, the team or the league has to do something immediately. If you just give in to peer pressure, that's the problem I have. This should have been handled already.
There, so that's Charles Barkley, who, a lot of times can be kind of based about the stuff he says. But that's what he said about it. And then let me see if I can find here's the statement. No, that's not the statement. I have to get the statement from the Kyrie is trending. And I saw there, he got suspended for at least 5 games. And he will serve a suspension without pay until he satisfies a series of objective remedial measures. Here it is. And this is just for him tweeting, literally just tweeting. That's it. All he did was tweet this documentary. Here's what the Brooklyn Nets said. Over the last several days, we have made repeated attempts to work with Kyrie Irving to help him understand the harm and danger of his words and actions, which began with him publicizing a film containing deeply disturbing anti-Semitic hate. We believed that taking the path of education in this challenging situation would be the right one and thought that we had made progress with our joint commitment to eradicate hate and intolerance. Eradicate hate and intolerance. Like, if that's your mission, then
good luck.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Like, I don't know. That's like saying, oh, we'll stop with the lockdowns once nobody dies of COVID anymore, you know?
Right. The hate and intolerance is a very specific type they're trying to eliminate.
We were dismayed today when given an opportunity in a media session that Kyrie refused to unequivocally say he has no anti-Semitic beliefs, nor acknowledge specific hateful material in the film. This was not the first time he had the opportunity, but failed to clarify. This is why I said they canceled Kanye West, because he didn't apologize, I feel like. And that's what they were trying to do with Kyrie too. It's like they wanted him to apologize. Like, that's what they want. They want you to say you're sorry. You know?
And he did clarify. It just wasn't the clarification that they wanted him to say. It wasn't the word for word script.
Such failure to disavow anti-Semitism when given a clear opportunity to do so is deeply disturbing, is against the values of the organization, and constitutes conduct detrimental to the team. Accordingly, we are of the view that he is currently unfit to be associated with the Brooklyn Nets. We have decided that Kyrie will serve a suspension without pay until he satisfies a series of objective remedial measures that address the harmful impact of his conduct, and the suspension period served is no less than 5 games. I think it might be the playoffs right now. I'm not sure.
Do you think he's going to come back? Like, these objective measures he has to fulfill.
I mean, he has to apologize. He's not the type to apologize. I mean, the same with Kanye or Ye. Like, he wouldn't apologize. He refused. So, and I kind of feel like Kyrie he was like, I can't be anti-Semitic. He's saying that's just weird about it, or not weird. But that he's using the same language as Kanye West, which is the language of a Black Hebrew Israelite. So it makes me think this Black Hebrew Israelite thing is like pretty widespread. And if you're just calling them all anti-Semites, then it's like, it's kind of like, I don't know. Like, it's an interesting dynamic. But Charles Barkley says, oh, well, as long as we're paying you, you better keep in line. Otherwise, we're not going to pay you. We're paying you too much money to talk about, right?
It's bad optics, like having Kanye go and then now Kyrie back to back,
Right.
with this whole narrative of like, well, we need to help these Black men understand. Like, we need to educate them on what is good and bad. Especially when, as you were saying, like, this isn't necessarily an unpopular belief anymore.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. It's like, wait a minute. You're basically saying that a lot of Black people now are anti-Semitic and like unacceptable to society.
It's similar to how, yeah, keep going.
No, just because of like religious beliefs, basically.
Yeah, it's religious beliefs, which makes this like a whole different dynamic than even the Trump stuff, how people were maligned for supporting him and called all these names. Now it's getting into like a totally different territory in a way. And right before an election, I don't know. This seems like a bad strategic move to go so hard on them.
Oh man, it's just, wow, it's so out of control. I mean, what Kanye said, I was pretty critical of Kanye. Like, what Kanye said, you could say certain things he said were, you know, what they call anti-Semitic. I mean, they're by definition anti-Semitic, about Jewish power, Jewish media, whatever. But and he could have apologized, and I thought he should have. But Kyrie just shared this documentary, and then he believes the stuff. So he believes he's now, a Jew, basically, which means he can't be anti-Semitic.
Yeah, we're getting into belief territory, into faith territory,
Right.
into real human origin shit. So,
Right. Wow, that's some crazy shit. That's some like next level.
I saw someone in the chat said that they had watched the documentary and wanted to call in. So we might have to, because I want to know what's in it. I haven't seen it.
Oh,
myself
really?
yet. No.
Okay. All right. If they watch the documentary, that would be helpful. So maybe I will open the phone.
But like just generally on principle, sharing a documentary shouldn't result in these kind of punishments. That's
man.
ridiculous.
Just sharing something on Twitter, that's kind of a popular thing. I mean, it's and then even them criticizing him over Alex Jones, the same thing.
And they won't even name the documentary. It's probably Endgame. Endgame's good. I have that on DVD.
Is it?
Yeah.
Let's talk about secret societies.
Yeah.
Yeah. He says they're real. So he is like a genuine conspiracy theorist, but there's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, and a lot of the Black Hebrew Israelites know that secret societies are real because they're like in them or adjacent to them.
Right.
Black people have their own Freemason lodges too. So it's like,
is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Black Freemasons. Yeah, that makes sense. Their own, I mean, like segregated or something. Huh? Interesting. Well, yeah, so that's the Kyrie Irving story. Pretty crazy. I mean, I can't talk about it too much, but we did talk about it some in a way that's okay. But yeah, I can't believe it. It seems a little over the top.
Just a little.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the Kyrie Irving story. Let me share some other stories with you guys. The litter boxes. Remember, I did a whole episode on litter boxes?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
With the creepy thumbnail.
Yeah, with the thumbnail of a kid using a litter box. Well, apparently, it's being reported in the Daily Beast that Joe Rogan admitted he was lying about litter boxes. That's being reported. So it's a follow-up to my story on it. I said I was going to get to the bottom of it. Apparently, Joe Rogan said on his show that he was wrong about the litter boxes in classrooms. So apparently, I don't know if it's been officially debunked, because I thought I heard somebody say that they knew about it for real, but semi-debunked, certainly.
That's why it's always a good rule of thumb to be cautious when you hear something that sounds just like absolutely outlandish, not to jump on it and say like, oh my God, guys, can you believe? Especially now, anything can trend. And I'm sure like he probably was just joking about it in some respect. He didn't think that people would actually go with it. So
he was talking about it to Tulsi Gabbard too. So he got Tulsi Gabbard to agree with them. I know. So it made it seem like
legit.
Yeah, it made it seem legit. Let's talk about Twitter. You're a Twitter user, right?
I try not to be.
But you have to.
I mean, no, I don't.
No, but you use it. Have you noticed it
look at it
since Elon Musk took over?
Just lots of more like all caps tweets and things like that.
But otherwise, you haven't seen people. Have you seen anyone using the N-word? They say use of the N-word is up 500%.
I personally have not seen that.
I haven't either. I know. I'm waiting. I was waiting. I was like, oh, are people going to use the N-word now? And then they said, oh, use the N-word is way up. But I haven't seen a single tweet with the N-word. And then people are still getting banned for stuff. So people are still getting suspended for posting various things. Like Viva Frey got suspended for something about Paul Pelosi. So, and Elon says the content moderation is still in effect. Are you going to pay $8 to be verified?
No.
I will, I guess.
What is included in verification? Like, how do they verify? Like, it doesn't mean anything anymore, right? You just get a check mark if you pay $8.
Yeah. Well, I think you probably have to provide identification the same way they do for like banking services. You know, have you signed up for modern banking services where they make you send in a photo of your ID?
Yeah, but like they have the infrastructure for that. Like if Twitter is going to try and do that en masse, like open it up to anyone to get verified and show their ID, like that's a whole security issue. That's a whole infrastructure issue. There's no way that's happening soon in any kind of effective way.
But banks do it. I mean, apps and stuff do. A lot of
Yeah,
banks do it. So they
because that's
probably
what they do. Banks are tied to your actual identity. Twitter is Twitter. This is nuts.
Well, it gives you a check mark. Do you know, I see white check marks and sometimes, is there a difference between white check marks and blue check marks on Twitter? Or does everybody have the same check mark? For some reason, I see white check marks and I didn't know if it was different. People talk about blue check marks.
Maybe you're on clan Twitter. I don't know.
Clan Twitter. Yeah, that'd be funny if there was like white supremacist Twitter, because there's all other kinds of Twitter. There's black Twitter and crypto Twitter and financial Twitter, and they all have names and stuff. Do you get posts from black Twitter? Because I'm not following the right people for black Twitter. I should.
No, I don't interact with Twitter enough to get like the fun stuff.
I would say that most use of the N-word on Twitter comes from black Twitter itself. Probably.
But it's not like the hard R N-word.
No, usually they say it the other way. Like they said it about the guy. I noticed black Twitter. I did see some posts from black Twitter when I was looking into the story about the guy that got stabbed in the gazebo wearing an Amici shirt. And a lot of people referred to him. A lot of black people referred to him using the N-word. You know what I mean? They're like, that N-word in the fake Amici got stabbed. You know?
I had not heard that until just now.
Oh, really? Yeah. So yeah, I'm in tune with like what's going on, what the people are saying. Even when it's not my people, even when it's other people. Yes, they were saying that about the guy. They were like, oh, the N-word in the fake Amici shirt got stabbed, because they were saying it was his fault, you know.
Were you just scrolling through all the tweets laughing to yourself at that?
Was I giggling? What do you think I find that use of the N-word to be humorous?
If it's funny.
There's nothing humorous about that word. It's literal violence. I cringe every time I see it. Here's Jordan Peterson saying everybody, I think that this is what people are claiming. He's claiming everybody needs to be verified to use Twitter because people who are anonymous are the problem.
Are making fun of him in the comment section. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So let me play that clip because that's a famous clip that's going around right now on Twitter. This has almost 1 million views.
The biggest problem that I can see is that the large online platforms allow anonymous troll demons to rampage through society with no cost to themselves. And I can identify these people quite accurately now. This will make a number of the people who are watching and listening uncomfortable because they'll be in the list of people who do this sort of thing. So the first thing is they have an anonymous name. The second thing is the anonymous name usually has something psychologically significant about it in a very negative direction. So it's self-denigrating, or it's demonic, or it's otherwise offensive, and purposefully so. And then the people who are utter cowards, likely to be narcissists and Machiavellians, resentful people sitting in their basement at home, dwelling on their misery and doing everything they can to spew toxicity out into the world. Alone in their bedrooms, they're just isolated people who aren't causing any trouble. But as soon as they multiply themselves millions of times using this incredible, powerful computer technology, they're not even human anymore. In my estimation, they're literally a demonic force. And I mean that in a technical sense, right? You and I aren't exactly you and I in this conversation because we're amplified hundreds of times or thousands of times or hundreds of thousands of times. And so we're not just human, we're androids in some sense operating in a virtual space. And these online trolls have that power because they have access to an audience that they would never gather by their own merits. They are saying things that are derisive and inflammatory and that would absolutely 100% get them punched if they ever said it in public. Imagine that there's a hierarchy of unconstrained people. And there's a variety of people who are very unconstrained, but in normal social discourse would be able to keep themselves under control because of the controls that are there in normal social discourse. You lift those controls and they just go off. And so that's what we're seeing online. And that has to be stopped. I think the large tech companies should be required to put in know your customer laws. They should ban anonymous accounts, but in this way. Imagine that you have a section for comments where it's real human.
Okay. He was about, I wish, see, this is why it would be better, like whoever posted that video, if they had premium Twitter, which you can already get, it's $3 a month, which I actually signed up for because they let you post your NFT. I signed up for it back when they let you post your NFT, but then I got over that and then I'm still signed up for it, but they let you post longer videos. And he was about to say that he hopes in the future that comment sections will be dominated by real humans and then trolls and then anonymous trolls. So, but that's what Twitter verification gives you. Twitter verification will give you real human status. And then you get priority replies. So you're going to be prioritized in replies and stuff. And you can post longer video. I don't know what the other benefits are. So it's like you get a check mark. But I don't even know how the check mark thing works because I thought it was you had to use your real name and then you can get a check mark. But then I see people with check marks who change their name all the time, like Jack Posobiec. What's her name? Taylor Lorenz. Her profile now says subscribe to my Substack. That's the name of her account, but she's got a check mark.
It feels very much like the gateway drug, this whole Twitter verification thing. It's like a gateway to what's coming next, to this entirely monitored. And we already know that we're monitored, right? But as Jordan Peterson is saying, like there should be a hierarchy of who gets the attention. It should be the important people and then the trolls. Yes. And it's going to get more and more segmented into this weird caste system of who's paying the most, who's getting the most interactions, who has the most fact-checked things that are correct. So it's interesting to see him say this because he's coming at this from a different perspective as those who are trying to say like Kyrie Irving needs to apologize and be educated. But at the end of the day, all of these encroaching groups are trying to get this population in the middle to behave in a very specific type of way.
Right. Like in the end, it's about behavior modification. Like Elon Musk says, you can pay $8, but then if you do something bad, they'll take it away. Like they'll take it away. And then you will have lost your $8 and it's like a fine. So it's basically to control your behavior. So you act right also. And then it is also it is a form of digital ID, which, I don't know. I mean, this is one thing I thought about is that you deserve free speech on the internet, right?
I think so.
Okay. So let's say we agree that you deserve free speech on the internet or that humans deserve free speech on the internet. But do you think bots deserve free speech on the internet?
Probably not.
Right. Okay. So we agree that humans deserve free speech on the internet, but we don't agree that bots deserve free speech on the internet. So how do you make sure that it's only humans that get free speech?
I don't know if you do.
You have to verify their identity, right?
Well, yeah, sorry. I was going in a different route with that, just in terms of what Elon Musk's ultimate plans are with like merging human consciousness with whatever, the cloud AI. So there is this idea out there that like, well, maybe bots can be humans. What's the difference? Like, let's put them together at some point anyway. But yeah, like you were saying, in order to weed them out in the initial run up to this verification process, ID, voter ID.
Yeah, exactly. Digital ID. So it is a way to ID you. And anonymity, the reason people are upset at Jordan Peterson for saying that is like anonymity is part of the foundation of the internet. And some forums are strictly anonymous and succeed based on the fact that everyone is anonymous, like 4chan. Like 4chan exists because of the anonymity. Otherwise, the people wouldn't post half the stuff they post on there, right? Because they would get fired or, canceled or what have you. So people use anonymity as a feature of the internet. And many people have used their anonymous identities to create social change too, like Libs of TikTok, who tried to be anonymous until she was doxxed, like that umbrella guy who was an anonymous guy who was commenting on Johnny Depp and Amber Heard until he got doxxed. And like several other keyboard warriors out there. I mean, there are tons of Twitter accounts that are anonymous, right?
And, I mean, even in the role that it's played within the various like different color revolutions in countries since Twitter opened in 2007. Like I remember, I don't know if it was Iran or what, it was like the green color revolution. But there are so many accounts that like if you're telling people who are in like precarious war-stricken situations that in order to disseminate information, they need to give you their ID. So what, you're going to give it to the government that's oppressing them? Like,
right. Exactly. So anonymity is like almost required, and you want to be anonymous. And that's why I changed, even though it has a profile picture of me on my Twitter account, I did change the name because I no longer wanted it to be that when people searched my name, that my Twitter account would come up. So I anonymized myself, actually. And so depending on how this online streaming thing goes on YouTube, depending on whether people go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil more often or less often, depends on whether I decide to unanonymize myself and go by my real name on there. But it depends on whether I'm trying to get employment, basically. Whether I want people to be able to find me, because you can't say certain things. You can't, like, there are things that are unsafe to say as a real human, identified human, which deserve to be said. Like Kyrie is wishing that he had a ghost Twitter account that he shared that.
I don't know. Kyrie's an Aries, born in 92. I think he's born for this. I think it's going to be something to watch. He's not going away.
So check this out. This is a hot take on Elon Musk charging $8 to use Twitter, which is an interesting take. I'll show you that. Let's remember that Elon Musk charging $8 for premium Twitter experience means Twitter becomes the product again instead of you. And if $8 is too much, you're free to remain as the product.
That's dumb.
You think? If you pay for something, though, it is better, typically.
But it doesn't not make you the product. They're still the product. They're just also paying to be a product, an elevated product.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking about it like if it was the difference between HBO, which you pay for, or free cable TV, then maybe it'd be worth it, right? If it was that kind of difference.
Yeah, you'll have to tell us from the other side what the difference is.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah, I'll sign up for it because whatever. Because maybe it'll give me lots more followers. I was going to make jokes about how Twitter totally unlocked my account because I got like 10 followers since the upgrade, which is a lot,
I mean, yeah, that's numbers.
I saw Cat Turd. Cat Turd is like, I got like 100 million new followers because Elon Musk. All Cat Turd tweets about is how many followers they have. Is it a guy or a girl, Cat Turd?
It's annoying. That's what Cat Turd is.
It's a girl. So yeah, a lot of people on Twitter like to just talk about how they're shadow banned or how they're not shadow banned now, and how Elon Musk whatever. They don't ever post any real content as far as I can tell. They just talk about how they're shadow banned or how they're getting lots of engagement.
That is the one change I have seen, is that like every other tweet mentions Elon.
Yeah. Right. And then I think, oh, well, maybe you're getting more attention right now because you're only talking about Elon Musk, and people who talk about Elon Musk get lots of engagement on Twitter.
Yeah, I got like 11 likes on a tweet
Really?
about Elon.
Really? 11? Wow.
11, which is a lot for me. Yeah.
I know. That is crazy.
So
Twitter might do an OnlyFans feature. That's interesting news. Twitter might turn into like an OnlyFans, which OnlyFans makes pretty good money, I think, right? For people. A lot of people in the pandemic decided to turn to OnlyFans as a way to earn income. But this is a report from the Washington Post that says Elon Musk Twitter is working on paid video feature with high risk. They're saying employees say that there's high risk of abuse with this feature, but it's a pay-per-view video feature, which they say will probably be used for pornography. And apparently it's going to roll out in the next couple of weeks. So get ready. I'm working on, I'll release feet videos. $5 a view or something like that. Only feet. What do you think?
I think pornography is one of the top 3 reasons humanity has declined so rapidly.
Well, don't take it for granted, because pornography has driven technology typically in the past. I mean, really driven important technology like home VCRs, like home video, the internet. Like the internet was created mostly to host pornography.
Yeah, you haven't said anything that I disagree with yet. That's exactly my point.
Oh, I see. But it does drive technology, because nobody was paying, like when VCRs. Okay, you are a millennial. This is interesting. So you have a different experience with technology. Do you remember VCRs?
I do.
Oh, okay. Those used to cost like $1,000 or something back in the day.
They were pretty expensive.
Yeah, and that was like 1970s dollars, which used to actually be worth something. And so the only people buying it were people who wanted to masturbate, probably at home, like instead of going to the theater, probably at first. And film buffs, I guess.
You know, people interested in the technology itself, people who want to watch movies, Star Wars fans, like lots of people.
No.
Besides people jacking off, we're getting star players.
Mostly people watching pornography, I think. So anyway, that's what apparently Elon Musk is talking about doing. Paid video feature that people might use to sell pornographic content, apparently is coming. So, all right. So that's a story about Twitter. I think that's all the news about Twitter.
Good.
And then you said we might be taking phone calls because somebody might have seen. You said somebody actually literally said that.
Somebody literally said, I've seen the documentary. I want to call in, but that was like an hour ago. So I don't know if they're still here.
Okay.
But
let me show you this news because it's important. You know, the Russians blamed the British for blowing up the pipeline. Okay. This is a tweet that says the Russians are ready to release the information that they have. So this is from a financial guy named Jim Rickards. It says Russia has gathered the technical and forensic evidence showing the UK sabotaged the Nord Stream pipelines with US approval. Will be made public in the coming days. It's tantamount to an act of war by the UK and US against Germany. This has the dynamic of a new world war, he says. So, yeah, that's what he says, is that they are about to release the information. And Kim.com posted a tweet, which I never went over on my show, which said that they had the iMessage text messages from the UK Prime Minister to Secretary Blinken saying it's done right after the pipelines blew up. That's what Kim.com shared.
Cinematic. Okay.
Yeah. So apparently they got into the iCloud account for the Prime Minister, and they saw a text message to Secretary Blinken saying it's done right after the bombing. So we're going to see, I guess. That is big news. I mean, we did probably blow up the pipeline. So if it comes out for real, then.
Well, we didn't, but.
Well, we did.
I didn't.
We.
Yeah.
What
do you mean we? I don't take that karmic responsibility.
Oh, really? You don't take responsibility for American actions?
No.
Okay. Well, the Americans. Did you see Biden's speech last night?
No.
I don't know if anybody did. He made a big speech, but
did he have like the black and red background again, or did he switch it up?
I didn't watch it, so I don't know which for sure. I'm going to open up the phone for that one caller in particular who wants to call in and tell us about that documentary. And then I'm going to check to see if people bought coffees, because that is important. And I'll check Rockfin. So the phone is open right now. If you want to call in, if there was a person who was there earlier who said they watched the documentary Hebrews to Negroes, I think is what it's called. And in the meantime, donate to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil to support the show. I'll check that out right now.
Oh, Pirate Justin also saw it.
Oh, really?
Call in, Justin.
Jim from Baltimore got a coffee. Thank you. He got a few coffees. And then Tabitha 333 got 5 coffees. Says, we missed you this week, evil internet gods. Yeah, I know. Well, I only actually took one day off for having the internet out. I'd say having the internet out is the worst. Man, I felt like I got actually angry, which I rarely ever do. But I did. I got angry at the Filipino lady in the call center who I called today. Actually, you know what, people? You got to send in some more coffees. Go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. Support the show if you could. I mean, if you could afford it.
That's the thing. Money is tight.
Is it?
Yeah, people are getting laid off. There's a lot of insecurity. Really? Yeah.
Thanks, Vogan Filter, who gave a tip on Rockfin. Says because they hating, because it has a different title. It says they want you to apologize on Rockfin. Thanks, Mikhail Zygos, for the tip on Rockfin. I appreciate it. Thanks, everybody who's watching over there. And also, you can support the show that way, too, which is cool. Because when you support that way, we get cryptocurrency. So what are your picks for crypto? Do you have any shit coins you're excited about?
Not anymore. I learned my lesson there. Okay. Let me open my app.
What about Dogecoin? I saw Tim Pool say he's buying more Dogecoin. People are excited about Doge because of Twitter.
I sold my Doge. I don't want any association with Mr. Musk.
Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, we have a call. Let's see if it's the bad caller. Hey, you're on the air.
Nate,
Oh, I heard him say.
He was saying Nate.
I got rid of it.
It was.
This is a different caller. Hey, you're on the air.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, thanks. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the crypto conversation. Anything?
No, that's all right. But nobody cares about cryptocurrency. We're waiting to hear from our callers.
That's probably the reason I called, actually. I was like, oh, no, here we go. Just kidding. But hey, Jelena, how's it going?
Hey, it's going pretty good. How are you?
Pretty good. It's the first time we've ever talked.
How exciting.
Good to meet you.
It's good to meet you. What's your name?
I'm actually Mikhail.
Oh, hey, Mikhail, what's up? Thanks for the tip on Rockfin.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're the man. So what's on your mind?
Yeah. I don't know. I was all looking into the whole Kyrie thing today.
Yeah.
I was going pretty deep and found the, I mean, it is pretty crazy that you can just post a link to like state approved, Amazon,
right,
and get canceled, right? I mean, it's like
right. It's a link to a movie that's on Amazon, right? That's
yeah,
available.
it's not even BitChute or anything.
Right.
So it's like that, and that's kind of part of the reason, also, I think, in some weird way. But
it must be a pretty popular.
Wild.
I bet it's a pretty popular documentary too.
Yeah, it is on BitChute. It looks like it's like 3 hours or something.
Really? I'll have to check it out. Maybe I'll try to watch it. Maybe actually, yeah, I'll try to watch it. I wonder if it's free to watch. Hebrews to Negroes.
If you have a Prime account, it is.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool.
Oh yeah, it's on Prime Video. Wow.
Oh, cool. I'll watch it.
It's also free on BitChute.
Oh, the ADL posted a special post about it 10 hours ago. So now we can.
They're really I mean, it is kind of funny. They're proving everyone's point by canceling two black men. I mean, so it's pretty wild.
Here's an article from the Rolling Stone that says the movie talks about Jewish slave ships. So it maybe talks about how Jews were involved in the transatlantic slave trade, which, as far as I know, they were.
Well,
actually.
I mean, it does kind of show you how a lot of power identifies when, you can't question their history at all. I mean, it's pretty, I mean, it's pretty wild. I mean, who hasn't, what people probably within the history of the U.S., I mean, in the history of the world, not like of a racial identity, not had slaves, probably all of them, and all of them participated in some form or another. As slave traders of some kind or another. So it's just, but you can't question this one person's connection to it, this one like ethnicity or whatnot.
Right, exactly. Right. You can talk about how the United States was founded on slavery, how our founders were racist and like terrible people, but you don't want to say that about certain groups of people, right?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. But I don't know. I think it just seems like a lot of people are getting really jaded.
What do you mean?
And a lot of just because, I mean, it's like people are just over it. It's like, okay, just you're Jewish, you have money, and it's like you really like to manipulate. It's the chosen. I'm not saying the chosen people. I'm not being. Can I say the word Jewish? Is that okay?
I don't know. I mean, literally, I got banned for hate speech for something where I don't even know what I said wrong. So I want to be careful.
No, I'm not saying anything racial. I'm just, it's pretty interesting though that how I think people are jaded and they're just, I mean, stating the obvious a lot of times with just history and like how like blatantly the news lies, and newscasters and all the corporations just completely blatant, and people so I mean, thank God for like Kanye or Ye, really, just because like breaking, kind of popping the balloon, there's all this pressure building up and everyone's just sick of it. I mean, even though from my experience, the biggest flyers even in my own life have been leftist or like liberal identified people. And I mean, I think they're mostly lying to themselves, but I still think they're fucking sick of it. I don't think they want to do it anymore, really. It's probably tiring.
Well, I appreciate what you're saying, and I want to be careful that we don't say anything that's wrong to the censors and stuff. So whatever.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. No, I'm done. If that was across the line, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, the problem is I have no idea. That's the problem. It's like I literally don't know what I said the first time that they got me in trouble. So
yeah, but I think what you need to do is just get your audience to go over to Rockfin.
Yes.
I mean, all the YouTube people, just like you should go to Rockfin. It's not that hard to start an account.
Yes.
And we should really be supporting that instead of YouTube, because also you can tip him much easier there.
Yes.
Or you can buy him a coffee, but you know, the buying a coffee is like another step, right? If you just go to Rockfin, then you can just tip him and Jolene easily.
Yes.
Once you give Jolene her cut and all that.
That's right. Exactly. All right. Well, cool, man. Well, thanks for the input. Appreciate it.
Yeah, totally. Have a good one. Nice talking to you.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
Bye.
See ya. I hung up on the other guy. Let's see if the other guy tries to call back in.
I think people really are, like the caller was saying, sick of things, over it. Everyone's over it, but like in every capacity. It has nothing to do with the Jews. It's just like people are tired. It's been a really exhausting couple of years.
I don't know, man. Everybody has to apologize like for everything. It's like
right. And that's not going to stand, I don't think.
Mr. Stoltman.
Yes.
Okay. So I was saying your name. All I said was Nathan. You were so hot on the trigger.
I know. Well, I have to be because, you know, of that caller I have. So you don't want to start off. You don't want to start off a call saying an N-word like Nathan, because
I know, but your name is an N-word.
I know. What's up? How's it going?
That's rough. It felt brutal because I was literally calling in because there's been a vicious rumor going around that I am the person that would do that, and it's like,
oh no, you don't sound
okay, good, because you know I'm too lazy to like put something like that together.
No,
like,
you don't.
A mastermind.
Yeah, I know. And that guy's a way bigger fan too, because he's tuned in for like every single show, and I don't think you catch every show.
That's true.
So,
but you know, the other thing is like, you have my address and my phone number, so it's like, I mean, what kind of an asshole would I be to really?
Yes.
You know, like I like razzing you from time to time when the people that love you are around and we all kind of razz you, but like, you know, okay, well, that's all I wanted to say was like, much love and
cool.
You know,
thanks, man.
Not doing that thing. All right,
all right, cool. See you. All right. I didn't hear that rumor. That was Top Feed, right?
I don't know.
I think that's Top Feed Coco.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that might be the whole show. Well, I can take another. I didn't talk about politics. The final bets I have on the election are Republicans to win the House, Oz to win in Pennsylvania, Kari Lake to win in Arizona, the guy to win against the fake astronaut. Oh, and then the long shot is Washington State. Hey, you're on the air.
Hey, let me turn down this. Hi. Yeah, I love your show. Long time listener. I was calling about the Kyrie. Can I say something about that?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Yeah, so I did see the documentary.
Okay, cool.
I saw it. It was terrible, by the way.
Really?
But I'm in 100% support of Kyrie for a lot of reasons. Yes, I'm African American, but the documentary sucked. It was terribly not well done. I mean, you could argue it's anti-Semitic in the sense of, but not directly, but in the sense of we are, you know, if we're the originals, then everybody else is the imposters. It's kind of that kind of thing. So yeah, you could say that, but I mean, for him to do that. And then I wanted to say just the hypocrisy. It's like, as an African American, focusing on the American part, like we love all our presidents, right? I mean, in school, we learn about George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. I mean, like all the presidents had slaves, right? So if we really wanted to use a measuring stick of throwing out the baby with the bathwater, like the parts we don't like about a person, like with the Alex Jones things or whatever, like then we have to throw out all of American history. Like,
right.
And I don't think we should do that. But I'm saying if that's the argument, then we need to throw out everybody, because slave owners were just as bad as Hitler. And that's a fact. So we're not really, you know, so this is, I would call for, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, I would call for all NBA fans to like strike, like boycott the NBA, like if they, you know, to show, because this is just wrong.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, I think so too. I think it's wrong. So cool. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for giving your input on the documentary. So it's not that good. So it's not even worth watching necessarily.
No, it's not. It's not even. And I don't mean if you agree or disagree. I just mean like it's like it's hard to watch. Like it looks like they just threw it together to kind of get some money and stuff. Like
right.
it's not well done at all. So I don't even know how he got through it or anybody. Like,
really?
That's funny. It's pretty bad. Yes.
Do you believe in the philosophy? Like, do you believe that you're one of the original Israelites?
I'm not sure, but I do believe that history has lied, and that I'm not in that religion. But I would say a lot of us. Can I just say something? Kind of like speaking for all Black people, but not as individuals, but as a group.
Yes,
we have a double life, like in terms of what we understand. Like, and I guess I'll give, just to be quick, I'll kind of give the example of like Obama when he was first running and all the white people were shocked that he was in Jeremiah Wright's church.
Right.
But Black people understood it because we're just culturally kind of used to what maybe white people who are not exposed to it would call, oh my God, I'm shocked. That's anti-Semitic. How could you say a white devil, but then you're married to one, or it's kind of just in our culture, kind of like, so we know about the Hebrew Israelites. Like, we're just, they're your cousin who you may not subscribe to what they're believing in, but they're harmless.
Right.
And they're not violent. It's just, so we're kind of like, what's the big deal? And then when, white population who's not exposed to it, and particularly in this case, the Jewish people are like, what? We're like, yeah, right. And the documentary's horrible on top of that. So
right. I hear you.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good input on it. All right. Well, cool.
I love your show. You're the best YouTuber ever, and I hope you come back full swing.
Okay, cool.
With millions of viewers.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Okay.
One day.
All right. Take care.
See
Bye.
ya. Oh, that's nice. That's cool. See, I've had a Jewish person call into the show. That's a Black person who called into the show. See, we have a very diverse audience. It shows.
Very good. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. See, that's the thing. I realized, like, I've heard so many. Now it's like first person I heard talking about Black Hebrew Israelites was Kendrick Lamar, because it's on his album. He's got like a uncle or something who's like a preacher, who's talking about how, we're the chosen people. And there's like a whole monologue on one of his albums. So that was where I was first exposed to it. And then Kanye's talking about it, or Ye. And then Kyrie Irving is talking about it. So like she said, maybe like it's just common that there are Black people who believe it. And then then it's like Jewish people are calling all these Black people names, kind of, right?
It's interesting. All of those Black guys have a K name, 3 Ks. When Kendrick actually starts talking about it, if he does, right? Because it's in his music, but he hasn't like gone and done press conferences or Twitter events, I don't think yet.
Right.
So.
Right. Well, in his, like, in the monologue that's in his album, it doesn't mention the Jews at all. It just says, we're the chosen people, and it's we have to follow God's commandments and blah, blah,
yeah. And the caller was right. Like, I was laughing when she was saying, like, every Black family has a cousin or something that thinks this, like, genuinely. Right. And it's true. Right. There's a cousin or an uncle or whatever, and we listen to it and we're familiar with it. We might not agree with it, but we're not like, oh my God.
Right. You guys aren't like thinking, oh my God, this person's so hateful. You're thinking, okay, well, whatever. Okay. It's just another conspiracy theory, basically.
Yeah.
Which is they're not that harmful. And yeah, I know. Well, cool. We covered a lot of things on the show. It was good having you back on for another episode. So you thought you were joining me for election day, but it turns out that election day is Tuesday and you're joining me Thursday. Does that mean you're still joining me Thursday, or do you want to do a special stream on election night?
Maybe if something crazy happens.
Okay, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see when results start coming in.
There's an eclipse. Sorry, I got excited.
When
is on election night?
Oh, really? A lunar eclipse, huh?
Yeah, it's a blood moon lunar eclipse.
Really? On election day. Interesting.
So good luck, everyone.
Well, I hope my bets all pay off. So, all right. I'll check my coffees just in case anybody else decided to. Reminder, you can do that after the show's over too. You can go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil And you can tip on Rockfin too. And you can buy our t-shirts at truthclothing.io. Do you have anything you want to promote?
You can follow me on Elon Musk's Twitter.
Yes.
Twitter.com/justjelena.
Yes. Follow me on Twitter too, at lifttheveil411. You just search for Lift the Veil. All right, cool. Thanks everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you at the next one. I should be back. What's tomorrow, Friday? So Friday I do the show a little early sometimes at like 4:30. So you might see me at 4:30 Pacific time, 7:30 Eastern time tomorrow. All right, so that's it. Thanks everybody. That is what it is. And stream.